Hello, and welcome to our demo of Domino Governance for Model Risk Management, or MRM. Today I'm going to walk you through how Domino Governance can be used to enhance the efficiency and security of your model risk management activities during model development in the Domino platform. Before we dive into Domino, let's talk about some of the common drawbacks of the current MRM practices in the industry. There are a few issues with how model risk management is currently handled in model development life cycles. First, MRM is often done separately to the development work that produces the models. This means documenting and reviewing models happens not only in different software, but at different time from the development process. This disconnect makes it time-consuming to trace artifacts to ensure everything is properly captured, and the frequent context switching also increases the risk of costly compliance mistakes earlier in the process. Secondly, as MRM is often done in completely separate tooling, it is complex and time-consuming to share models, code, data, and documentation between the modeling team and the reviewers. From the perspective of a risk manager, this can mean an extremely challenging process involving files sent around in emails, access control requests to code, and communication to ensure all required assets are in place. Lastly, it can be hard for the model development teams to get a clear understanding of the specific policies requirements, particularly with the amount of regulatory change at the moment. This means that model developers have to proactively reach out to the MRM team to understand policy nuances. As a result, the process can become an afterthought, prone to errors, and leaves organizations vulnerable to mistakes that can be costly. What you'll see in the Domino platform today is how Domino Governance is helping to revolutionize the MRM process. Domino Governance enables you to centralize your MRM activities right alongside your development efforts, so that MRM becomes a first-class citizen in your development process. It's also built on top of Domino's existing and robust reproducibility engine, allowing full auditability and traceability into the model development process, and all assets are required to adhere to your MRM policies. Lastly, the Domino Governance tool enables model developers to easily visualize every step of their governance policies. It also provides a single location to monitor the usage and enforcement of all compliance policies across the organization. Today, we'll explore the platform from the perspectives of two key individuals involved in the model development process. Shelley is a model developer. She's been tasked with creating a new life insurance underwriting classification model using machine learning to improve straight-through processing of risk and pricing. Mike is a risk manager responsible for ensuring model governance and adherence to the model risk management policies. Let's jump in and see the platform in action. Shelley logs into the platform and her team start documenting their life underwriting classification project. They know that this is going to create a new model or a new version of a model, and so at some point they're going to have to go through the governance process. Within Domino, they can go to the governance tab of the project and actually start to fill out the required evidence for this policy straight from the start. They come in and create a new governance bundle, which is going to document all of the evidence required to fulfill the policy that they need to adhere to. They can select from a predefined list of policies that have been created by the model risk management team. In this case, the model risk management policy itself. When they create this governance bundle, they'll be presented with the list of evidence they require in order to attest that they've adhered to this policy. It's easier to see up front what is required. Sally's been caught out by this in a previous project, where she filled out the governance documentation at the end of development, only to be told by the governance team that she'd used PII data incorrectly, and they had to spend months refactoring the model. By bringing the policies into Domino, she can see what checks are required as her team go through the development process. The first step is for the business case for this model, so she can start to document about the underwriting decisions that are going to be made by this particular model, that it's a new model development, and start to document the business benefits of this model as well. From here, she can see that there is an approval step to this business case before the project continues, and she can request a review through the platform out to the model governance organization. Now we switch across to Mike's view. He logs into the platform and sees a task awaiting him for business case sign-off in this underwriting project. He can come through to see all of the tasks that he has for this particular project and get taken into the specific underwriting governance bundle, which documents all of the evidence for this particular step. At this point, he can review the business case and fill in the approval steps. At this point, he can define whether the model is high or low risk. This model is going to be embedded into a core business process, so it is of course high risk. However, if the model was low risk, it would change the bits of the policy that the development team need to adhere to. And so it would remove those from the governance bundle so they don't need to fill them in, saving them time. If he wanted to, he could, of course, reach out to the development team and give them some guidance on how to fill in this part of the document more effectively or more efficiently. But in this case, Sally and the team have done a good job, so he can approve this business case and move forward. With the business case approved, Sally and the team can move forward into building the model. A few sprints later, they've built out their first version of this particular model. As well as storing all of the metadata automatically for the model, they can add this model directly to the governance bundle. In addition to this, they've also been working with the model validation team, and they've created a model validation report, which they've written based on the guidelines from the model validation team. They can also add this to the bundle, ensuring that all of the deliverables that are required to be reviewed as part of that policy can all be attached directly through the platform. From here, she can go back into the governance bundle and are now at the stage 5, which is validation. From here, she can document all of the things that she's done in terms of the model validation step with the model validation team. In addition to this, she can tie the model directly to this governance bundle and show some important metrics for review and indicate that the model validation document has been completed. Again, at this point, she can see what is going to be needed from the approver and who is going to be approving it and request that review. Switching across to Mike again from the model risk management team, he can go back and see that he has a new task, again, at this point for validation sign-off. He can come back through to the governance bundle and see the steps that have been completed in the validation stage. He can understand the methodology that was used. He can even go out and view the specific model that was created, including any metadata, code if he needed to, or any of the other lineage in terms of how this model was created. In addition to this, he can see the other attached evidence. In this case, the model validation report that Sally and the team wrote. He can come in here, review the report, ensure its correctness and completeness, and come back to the governance bundle, completing the review of step 5. He's read the model validation reports, he's checked the explainability report, and signs off this model. This is significantly easier than the last time Sally and the team sent over a model to him, in which it was an email that contained links to code, SharePoint, spreadsheets, and all manner of other documents that he had to pick through to get to the key pieces of information he needed to approve the validation stage of this MRM policy. From here, Sally's team can move this model to production. In this demo, we saw how Domino can align the model development and MRM processes, enabling faster, less complex model review. The risk management team can track policy adherence through instant access to the full model context and documentation, while the model developers get visibility into the steps they need to ensure that their projects adhere to the MRM governance policies. For more information on Domino governance, please visit our website at domino.ai.